You're tuned in to The Awareness Angle, the show where we cut through the cyber noise and get straight to what matters, the scams, slip-ups and stories that you actually need to know. I'm Matt Davis, and here with me always is Luke Pettigrew. Hello, Luke.
Hey, Ant. Hey, everyone.
How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Back from my travels to Cologne to the Human Firewall Conference, which was awesome, but I'll give you all the details on that in a little while.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Right, quick reminder, everyone, please subscribe to our newsletter. The Awareness Angle newsletter is around 1,000 subscribers now, which we're really proud of. Comes out every Monday to support every episode. It contains links to all the stories we talk about and some thoughts on 3 or 4 of the bigger stories as they unfold. You can get that by subscribing at riskycreative.com, or you can get it on LinkedIn by searching for The Awareness Angle. Most people get it on LinkedIn. If you are listening to this and you'd like to see our beautiful faces, then you can find us on YouTube. Go to YouTube and just search for Risky Creative or The Awareness Angle, and every episode we record is uploaded to YouTube in all its beautiful full colour glory. We've got over 500 subscribers. We want more. If you're listening to this and you're not subscribed, please go YouTube at Risky Creative and find us. You can also find us on Instagram at Risky Creative. Nearly 11,000 people follow us on Instagram, which is unbelievable. And TikTok as well. Grab us on TikTok, 4,500 followers. And that's me at InfoSec Ant. I don't know why it's not Risky Creative. I made it before and then never changed it. So yeah, I might change that at some point. Right. That's the intro. Shall we get on with this week's breaches?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Awesome. Okay, so 3 breaches to tell you about this week. These are interesting ones from around the world because we are a global podcast. Currently, as we're recording, the #1 tech news podcast in Slovenia.
Oh, well.
That's pretty impressive. Hi, Slovenia. Feel like Eurovision. Right, breaches. Hyundai AutoEver America, a IT affiliate of the Hyundai Motor Group, report a cyber breach after hackers accessed its systems between February and March, the 22nd of February and the 2nd of March this year. That's ages ago.
Yeah, well,
the intrusion exposed personal data, including names, social security numbers, and driver's license details. So the company has launched an investigation with cybersecurity experts and has notified law enforcement. Still not known what the full impact of said breach is, and no one's claimed responsibility either. So there's not much known on that, it would appear.
Yeah, interesting. I guess they just found out about that.
It would appear so, yeah. So if you think Hyundai AutoEver America may have your details, keep an eye out for phishing-related stuff. Nikkei, Japan's major media company, have suffered a data breach affecting over 17,000 employees and partners after, this is a great one, hackers accessed its Slack platform via a virus-infected employee computer. So names, emails, chat histories have all been exposed. Those chat histories. How would you feel about your chat history being exposed, Luke?
Yeah, but maybe it won't be that comfortable, but
Mine would be terrible. Nikkei have changed passwords and reported the incident to regulators and said no journalistic source data was leaked. I suppose that's maybe that's what they were looking for, right? The source of information. That's an interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that was someone's account password being compromised and they didn't have MFA, or if it was tokens being stolen. It seems like maybe that was the case.
It would be interesting to find out more about that. There's not much out there. I mean, I think it was only yesterday. We're recording this Friday, so I think it was only yesterday that it was reported. But it's unauthorized access to an employee's personal computer that became infected with a virus. So, yeah.
I wonder how then they scraped all the conversations from, unless they were an admin. Interesting.
Yes. It would be interesting to if we find out more on that. It would be interesting to uncover the details of that. Just because it happened on the other side of the world doesn't mean it's any different. Could happen to anyone. So that was 17,000. Now going completely the other way. to a tiny one. Well, not tiny, but here in the UK, South Gloucestershire Council accidentally published personal data of 625 residents who took part in a consultation. It included names, addresses, phone numbers and emails, and was online for 3 days before being removed. Council apologised, have reported the breach to the ICO, and said that the risk to those affected is low. The names, addresses, phone numbers and emails of those affected is out. I mean, the council say it was low, but do we trust the council to make a wise judgment on something like that? They're always looking after themselves, aren't they, councils?
Yeah.
I don't want to upset any council people that are listening. I'm sure you're wonderful. Right. There's this week's breaches. Right. Quick stories. What have we got? So this week, I've seen this everywhere. When this first dropped, I was like, oh, wow, that's amazing. And then my LinkedIn, everybody's picked up on this. So if you're like a LinkedIn person that's on LinkedIn all the time, you've probably heard this. But the Louvre, okay, a few weeks ago, thieves carried out daylight robbery at the Louvre. They stole crown jewels worth tens of millions of pounds. It was all over in a blink of an eye, 8 minutes. And they have made arrests, several arrests, but the jewels at the time of recording are still missing. But this has led to people looking at the security posture of the museum. And I first saw this. Jordan Lindsay posted it. Jordan works at Vivida, one of my favourite security awareness companies. And he posted this and he said, I know you shouldn't laugh, but come on. I bet the British Museum read this and thought, we should change our passwords. Have we learned nothing from all the recent cyber attacks that have been all over the news? And the reason was that the password, I think it was their CCTV system.
Yep.
So let me get into this. Yeah. A wave of reports has painted a pretty grim picture of the museum's security. According to French media and the investigation by Libération, see, I can speak French, a 2014 cybersecurity audit by France's national agency, ANSSI, found that the password for part of the Louvre's video surveillance system was Louvre, Louvre. And then later audits, it's reported, highlighted things as outdated software, unpatched systems, and limited physical security during construction work. I mean, we've all seen Hollywood movies, haven't we? Where
yeah, people come in posing for high
of
vis.
course. Yeah. I mean, it's unclear whether all of these flaws or issues or weaknesses contributed to the robbery that's just happened. But France's culture minister has admitted there's been a chronic underestimation of the risk at the museum for decades. So, yeah, this is the problem, isn't it? A cyber event happens and all of a sudden everyone's looking at you. Every single thing you do is all of a sudden being looked at, monitored and analysed. So you better make sure your ducks are in order.
Yep.
Yeah. There we go. So you used to look after CCTV many moons ago. Password, company name?
I don't know about that, but maybe it wasn't as good as it could have been.
Times changed though, right? And this, 2014 was 11 years ago. Security attitudes have changed a lot in 11 years. But it still goes to show those legacy systems, that if you're a company that's got a XP still floating around or Windows 7 boxes because CCTV runs on an old system, doesn't mean it can't have a strong password. Yeah.
Mm.
Right. Move on to the next one.
Yeah, next one we've got is Reddit has been added to Australia's social media ban for under 16s. I think we spoke about this similar thing previously, but Australia have been banning various platforms. It was
Australian groups that were complaining and bringing, I think they were the ones that were driving a lot of social media shutdowns in different areas because they were driving this. Yeah, we've definitely covered that before.
Yeah, so this one is obviously Reddit, and it follows on from other platforms. They had Facebook, X, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram and Threads, and that's starting from next month. So from 10th of December, tech companies can be fined up to 50 million Australian dollars if they do not take reasonable steps to deactivate existing accounts for under 16s and prohibit new ones. So it's quite huge. And each ban platform was chosen as their sole or significant purpose is to enable online social interaction. And it says here, but someone, Australia's e-safety commissioner, Julie Grant, has said delaying children's access to social media gives them valuable time to learn and grow, free of the powerful unseen forces of harmful and deceptive design features such as opaque algorithms and endless scroll.
It does have endless scroll. I can confirm many hours of my life have been wasted scrolling Reddit for 40.
But it's quite interesting. The news story goes on to say as well, Discord and WhatsApp aren't affected. And also gaming platforms like Lego Play and Roblox. But as I'm sure everyone knows, Roblox is a very touchy platform when it comes to children's safety, even though it's designed for children to play games on. I think there's plenty of news stories about that.
There's a graffiti game on Roblox that my kids play. And this has been a problem for years because I've had this problem with two of my children at different times as they've like found this game. And there's a graffiti game and my kids have gone, so-and-so's drawing rude pictures because people are drawing pictures of male genitalia on the wall in graffiti, in the graffiti game. And I had this with one child, and then 3 or 4 years later, the other child comes up and goes, this graffiti game, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, it's still there. People are still playing it. And the same problem still exists in Roblox. I get it with Reddit in some ways. I think anything algorithmic based is designed to give you dopamine hits and designed to keep you scrolling and keep you engaged. But in some ways, maybe Reddit should make a child-friendly version. And there's a book about Facebook. There's a book I read that's a scandalous book about life working at Facebook, written by a woman that didn't have a great time there by the sound of it. But one of the things it says that they were keen to do again and again and again was a children's Facebook, because then they get them young, all for the wrong reasons. They get them young, and then as they grow, they're already on there. But Reddit is a community site for support, for guidance, for, there are some good things to Reddit. It's one of the largest communities on the internet. It's yeah, I don't know. I like my Reddit. I'm a Reddit fan. But I think it could do good. Maybe Reddit needs more safety and control.
Yeah, it's interesting that this news article goes on to talk about how most Australian adults support the ban. According to polls, some mental health advocates say it may cut kids off from connection. Others say it will push them to less regulated corners of the internet, as I'm sure we've probably touched on before.
Go to 4chan.
Yeah, the whole thing around the UK Safety Act and people just using VPNs to get around it. And they've said as well, that the government should focus on better policing harmful content on social media and prepare children for the reality of life on the web. And also mentions that Australian influencers family have millions of YouTube following, and they've moved to the UK to avoid this ban because their daughter is 14 years old, and obviously can't create content on there with that new ban coming in.
Well, if your kid's feeding your family, you might as well go to where your kid can work. I mean, that's child labour essentially in some ways, isn't it? I mean, it is, the community angle is another good one. Like, there's subreddits for bands and stuff like that. I went to a gig last weekend and posted some comments on Reddit, and other people commented on it, and then there's conversations that are going on. And it's, if you've got kids that are like, an active member of a community on their favourite anime or band or hobby, and then all of a sudden they're cut off from that, that's going to impact them. Yeah,
it's not good.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Move on to the next one.
Okay, right. The next one is, and this is all kinds of bizarre in some ways. Well, it isn't, I suppose. If you live in America, this is probably normal everyday life for you now. But the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, is going to vote to scrap telecom cybersecurity requirements because the world's a safe place. The FCC is planning to scrap cybersecurity rules for US telecoms that were only introduced earlier this year after huge Chinese government hacks exposed wiretap data and call records from over 1 million Americans. So Republican chair Brendan Carr, obviously it's relevant that he's a Republican because, the article mentions it, says that the rules were rushed and overreached the agency's power, and he wants to replace them with a more collaborative approach, which means more collaborative means no mandatory cybersecurity standards. And this is even after all the like Salt Typhoon, I think it was, that showed how weak their defenses were.
Mm.
And just hours after this was announced, news broke of another suspected state-backed hack that went undetected for nearly a year in a major telecom provider in the States. So
Jeez.
let's remove any mandatory requirements for cybersecurity because it's too much.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Can't believe that.
Let's not, I mean, the problem with this is like cybersecurity, depending on the political party that takes power, they've all got different attitudes for different things. And if it's voluntary, will anyone bother to do it? Like we know this from what we're trying to do. You know, I often talk about the correlation between health and safety and security awareness, cybersecurity. Health and safety, people only woke up to because all of a sudden the directors and board of companies were financially and legally liable should someone get hurt, injured or killed or maimed. So they made it an actual problem for the board. NIST 2, DORA, again, makes this relevant for boards. All of a sudden they are liable and their pockets may be hit by incidents. If it wasn't an option, if it wasn't mandatory, then it might not happen. No mandatory cybersecurity standards. Sounds like a great idea. But then if the Republicans get voted out in 3 years and the Democrats come back in, things might change. Who knows? Let's not get into politics. They were meant to be the quick ones.
Yeah, I know.
Go on then. You crack on with the next one.
Yeah, the next one we got is Apple have addressed more than 100 vulnerabilities in security updates for iPhones, Macs, and iPads. It also includes Safari, WatchOS, and VisionOS.
Oh, so just everything then.
Well, yeah, it's supposedly one of the largest ever security patches that they've released.
That is everything, isn't it? macOS,
I think
iOS,
so.
iPadOS, Safari, WatchOS, and VisionOS. I think that's everything. Yeah.
And Apple have said that they believe none are actively exploited. I don't know how they can be so confident on that. Security researchers sort of said that there's not much there's no transparency around this, which makes it difficult for them to assess risk or prioritize patching, and that's because Apple have been quite vague with the bugs. They also don't use CVSS scores or flag critical flaws. It says here the bulk of fixes hit WebKit, which is the engine behind Safari. Multiple flaws could crash processes or enable code execution via malicious web content. But yeah, lots of updates if you have Apple devices.
It's bizarre. Number one, how many all of a sudden? Number two, this is another example, the lack of mandatory reporting the lack of mandatory standards. Why not make it legal that if you're going to sell a product, like it has to, if there's any flaws in it, you have to give it a CVSS score or something like that. Why not make that mandatory? Hold everything accountable at the same standard. No, Apple can do their thing because Apple is Apple, as they always do. Do you know what I mean? Lightning adapter, anyone. All of a sudden they had to change to USB-C. So it's, I think that's really, and it does make it difficult because, I mean, Apple, you don't know, luckily there's not much server estate with Apple servers haven't been a thing for a while, but like, how do I know how urgent it is to install that patch? Yeah. It's not great. It's not great at all. There should be more transparency.
Definitely.
I wonder if off this, though, you'll see maybe they've discovered something like the WebKit Safari stuff. That's interesting because maybe they have discovered something that is properly actively out there in Safari. They've obviously turned a rock over and there's been a lot of stuff under it. Don't know.
Yeah.
Strange. Yeah. Right. Shall I move on to the next one?
Yeah.
This was a great story. I read this and I'm like, no, I don't reckon it's just these. This was in the Register. Firewalls and VPNs are now so complex that they can actually make you less secure. So this is a report from cyber insurer at Bay that fingers Cisco and Citrix VPNs as the most likely to lead to ransomware trouble. Organizations using Cisco and Citrix VPNs are nearly 7 times as likely to suffer a ransomware infection over a 15-month period according to AppBay, who provides cyber insurance and also offer MDR products. I think that's absolutely incredible. It isn't that the VPNs are inherently insecure. It's that they've become so complex and multifunctional that few organizations maintain them properly. They've made them too difficult, there's too much to them. This goes so much of this parallels with like our world. Like sometimes simple is best. Just keep it simple, stupid. Not calling you stupid, that's the saying. Yes, so most ransomware incidents, 83% in their data began with compromised VPN or remote access tools. And experts say the shift to cloud-based access like SaaS, S-A-S-E, dramatically reduces exposure. While Sonic Wall devices also saw a surge in Akira ransomware attacks tied to poor patching and weak credentials. It's just like, wow, it's just insane. Yeah.
There's some interesting stats there.
I get it though. I saw another one. Sonic Wall had an incident in September that they say was state sponsored. So it's, we're seeing these things happen all over the place, but it's complexity really, really is the enemy of what we do. Like if you make it too complicated to manage, if you throw too many features in there, its core purpose will just fall away. What was it? I was speaking to someone. This might have been a while ago, and I can't remember the exact reference to this. But they had a firewall, and it was they went to investigate the firewall and look at the configuration, and they had log everything. It was logging everything. Blocking? No, they hadn't enabled any of that. They'd just turned on all the logging. So all this firewall was doing was logging everything, but all the traffic was just free to move wherever it wanted. And it's the implementation of these tools is really important. I say this, and I've been thinking about this loads recently, thinking about what I do as like my next role. The implementation of tooling in security space is really important. Buying it is just the first part of the journey and sometimes the simplest part. We know this from when we've implemented security awareness training tools. To get them fully up to speed and implemented and working properly for you takes so much time. It's such a personal investment, isn't it? When you don't necessarily have it. Yes. Check your configurations. Get them audited if you need to by someone external. Be it a firewall, be it a VPN, be it a security awareness training platform. There's people out there that could come in and check that configuration for you. Probably just for a small fee, a couple of days consultancy. They'll come in, they'll look at it, and they'll highlight some errors, because if you're in an organization, you're not necessarily the subject matter expert, or you're too close to it. That's part of the problem as well. Right, crack on with the next one.
The next one is quite an interesting one. Researchers warn of flaws that allow manipulation of Microsoft Teams messages. Researchers at Checkpoint discovered 4 serious vulnerabilities in Microsoft Teams that could allow attackers to manipulate messages, spoof notifications, impersonate executives in chats or calls. The flaw also made it possible to edit messages invisibly, fake sender names, and alter caller identities, which obviously opens up social engineering and business email compromise and voice phishing attacks.
Yeah.
Microsoft have since patched the issue, but the platform has over 300 million users. So, it's quite crazy. People obviously trust these tools, and now they're becoming ways for criminals to manipulate and sort of, gain access and breach companies, as we saw with the Slack stuff. Teams is also vulnerable.
They're obviously a massive target now. That's what's key. Like, Teams is a massive target, and I know it was M&S, Marks and Spencer's, or Co-op, where a senior leader received a Teams message. And if you can occupy someone's Teams account and then change it to be the CEO or a senior leader, they're gonna if your CEO reaches out to you on Slack and tells you to do something, there's a big chance you might do it. You definitely would if you weren't in cyber. If you weren't working in InfoSec, then yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this may be the first time something like this has come up. I've not heard of anything around these sorts of things, like actually manipulating platforms to alter stuff, like especially without the edited label and changing display names without being detected kind of thing. It's quite crazy.
This was news to me. Yeah, I don't remember hearing this before, but it's, yeah, I mean, just those editing the message without an edited tab is one thing. Because there's numerous ways that could be used. Fake sender names, again, just change, hack your account, compromise your account, and then change your name to that of the CEO or the CTO or someone. And also caller identities, like you phone each other in Teams. So I'm getting a call from my manager and it's not actually your manager. And then it's, yeah, not great.
Yeah, at least it's patched now.
Yes, it is patched now. So, yes, install your updates, patch your systems.
Got next one.
Next one, Marks and Spencers, who are obviously suffered a massive cyber incident in Easter. They have announced their results, financial results, and the cyber incident lasted 2 months, forced a 4-month suspension of Click and Collect. It has slashed statutory profits 99%. Profits have gone from 391 million to 3 million in the first half of 2025. Now, that's significant. The attack obviously also disrupted in-store operations, leaving shelves empty and increasing costs for IT staff and food wastage. But the company has received £100 million in insurance payouts. It expects further costs, but it's confident that its full-year profits will recover. Yeah, I had an interest. Someone I know was telling me that I was talking about the space of retail, because obviously we both worked in like online retail and stuff. Someone said they ordered something from a coat, and this coat was delivered in a John Lewis bag.
Right.
Now, M&S and John Lewis, as far as I know, don't officially have any. So it got me wondering, like, maybe with the online problems, they're literally outsourcing their fulfillment to other companies. I don't know. It was just weird. But I was like, wow, that's really bizarre. But like, if ever Jaguar Land, I mean, the figures aren't even out for Jaguar Land Rover yet, and that's probably going to be worse than this. But there's like 388 million reasons why cyber attacks are. This is what you should be talking about. And if you're trying to get any impact from your board, funding from your board, again, there's 388 million reasons why cyber should probably get some more budget or shouldn't be cut. It's massive.
That's huge.
Right, jump on to the next one.
Yeah, next one we've got is a story on 2 men accused of hacking and extorting US companies previously have worked for cybersecurity firms.
They've gone to the dark side.
Yeah, 2 cybersecurity professionals have been indicted for carrying out ransomware attacks against US companies, same attacks they were paid to defend against. According to prosecutors, Kevin Martin from Texas and Ryan Goldberg from Georgia used the ransomware strain to target a medical device maker, pharmaceutical firm, and a drone company. And they divided about $10 million and received $1.2 million. Apparently it says here that one of them even specialised in helping victims of ransomware. And obviously everyone, this is a side operation.
This was a side hustle. Whilst, let's do the work of good, but as a side hustle, let's ransomware some people. God.
That's crazy. Using all the knowledge they get from the day job, I guess.
Yeah.
And it says that their employers were Digital Mint and Signia. Obviously, they've said that they have no involvement and are cooperating with the FBI. It's quite a crazy story. It's kind of like a Hollywood movie or TV show kind of storyline.
Isn't it? Yeah, look, Digital Mint, cyber threat intel, leading the fight against cybercrime. Is the hero line on their website.
Yeah, imagine the impact on the companies, their reputation with this.
Well, you're calling a PR team pretty much.
Yeah.
Signia, their hero line is beat attackers and stay secure. Yes. These people, I don't know what their motivations were, but clearly they had some motivation. But it's, we had a post last week about the insider risk. And someone was, and in the post, it was the Reddit post. In the post, it said, "Oh, they passed their background checks." And I remember someone in the comments said, "Of course they passed their background checks. They hadn't done anything bad until this point."
Yeah.
And that's the problem, isn't it? Like, yeah, it'll be interesting. We may never know, but it would be really interesting to know what made these two people switch. How were they connected? Texas and Georgia, and two different companies. How did they know each other? Were they working together? And yeah, what brought about the switch would be really interesting.
I imagine the
Well, yeah, the money would be nice. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
That does say as well that Digital Mint, the person didn't work for them for over 4 months, and Signia terminated the employment immediately, as you'd hope.
They are no longer employed by those employers, as you would hope.
But obviously, they're part of the investigation in some way, and they're working with the FBI.
Awesome.
Crazy. I think that's it for the news.
That's it for the news this week. Let's jump into awareness. So obviously this week I went to HuFiCon, the Human Firewall Conference, which is in Cologne in Germany. And I'll tell you what, I was really, really impressed. So it's Human Firewall Conference. It's all about human risk. SoSafe are obviously a provider of human risk management platform. SoSafe platform is, huge in Europe, not massive here in the UK, but really, really popular in thousands and thousands of customers. And quite impressive as well from the bits I saw. Look, the event was awesome. The setup. So not only was it really cheap, 200 quid cost me to get there for hotel and flights. Got there, turned up. Amazing venue. It's a nightclub normally, massive nightclub, but it's an amazing venue. The branding, the design, the build was all so cool. Like right up there with the best cyber event I've been to. There was 3 talk tracks, sometimes 2, but occasionally there was a 3rd. I would say 75% of it was in English. Some of the talks were in German, but largely there was normally always something in English to go and see, and it was all about human risk. It was all about, our side of cyber, as it were.
That's cool.
So it was really cool. I'd really recommend it. And it was great. I took part in a talk as well with CISO Andrew Rose and Melina from SoSafe, and that was really good, really well received. Talked about the podcast, gave the podcast a shout out, so we may have some new listeners from HuFiCon. So if I did, hello everyone who is joining us from HuFiCon. Yeah, so look, it'll probably be on next year. It's the 4th time they've run it. I imagine they'll go for number 5 next year because it was really busy, a lot of people there. And it's lovely that it was all in the same space as well. So yes, if you're looking for a conference to go to, we normally recommend SANS in America. SANS is great. I recommend going. SANS is great for the networking. I didn't get as much networking from HuFiCon. There was a lot of European people there. I didn't know a lot of people there as well. So when you know people, you get introduced to other people and stuff like that. So maybe we should build a bit of a community to go to HuFiCon. I recommend it. Cool. The SoSafe product as well. One wasn't really focused on pushing the product, but there was one talk I saw that did talk about what's coming in the product. And I'll tell you what, that's a little bit of a hidden secret, I think. In the UK here, no one really talks about SoSafe, but some of the features they've got come in are awesome. And the way that the tooling looks and how easy it is to use and the reporting, I'll tell you, if you're in the market for they're not paying me for this. If you're in the market for a human risk management platform, it is worth taking a look at SoSafe, I think. We looked at them a few years ago and they used to anonymize the users because German data privacy is really, really strong. So you couldn't point to your specific user that had fallen for a phish. Well, you can now. They've changed it so you can disable the anonymization. So that's really cool. So yeah, if you're in the market for a human risk management platform, it's probably worth having a look at SoSafe. There was a couple of things that happened there that really, there was a couple of little things that I was like, this is why we do what we do. We were standing around a table and they served the beer in small little narrow glasses. It's like a third of a pint or something. And the idea is you have it fresh and cold and then you just get another one rather than having a pint glass where it might get warm. And the first time we were stood around the table and we all got the beers, someone from local to there went cheers, Prost. Prost is German for cheers. And we all bumped the bottom of our glass. So we didn't do We didn't, normally you'd do like cheers at the top, but we all did the bottom. And then a few minutes later, an English person came up to the table and was like, cheers, and went to hold the top. And then someone was like, oh no, here we do the bottom of the glass. It's Prost, we do the bottom of the glass. And I just thought it was funny because the first time one person had gone to do the bottom who led it, we all followed. That one action he took, we all did the same without any question. That herd mentality. Whereas the second time someone did it and then we all kind of corrected that person because we'd done it bottoms first. That herd mentality, I thought it was there. And then I said this at the table and they're like, you never switch off, do you? And I'm like, well, no, I just kind of, it just made me think of it. Another story I heard that was really interesting was about the WhatsApps, WhatsApp scams or iMessage scams. We've covered them before with the DVLA, I think, where there's like 8 people in a group chat.
Yeah.
And a message will come through and there's 8 people in the group chat. So I was being told about a group chat scam that had like 8 people in it. It was an investment scam. And then other people in the chat were going, yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'm getting money. Oh, yeah, I'm getting money. Oh, yeah. And it was like the conversation. I don't know if this was evidence, but basically it was like, imagine if the other 7 people in that chat were 8 and they were all collectively like egging you on to invest. And you think the herd mentality again. You think this. You immediately think it's a scam. One person says, actually, no, I'm making some money. Another person says, oh my God, I've just made some too. And then before you know it, everybody's making money and there's like 7 verifications about, oh, maybe this is legit. But all of that could be AI.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think you see that a lot on social media posts as well. Like, and I think you shared a while back that fake handbag thing or backpack or something, and then all the fake comments.
Yeah, that was
obviously trying to make people think it is legit.
That was the Decathlon one, wasn't it, with the backpack, the fake Facebook posts.
Yeah.
There was another example. One of the talks was given by the guy that used to host a TV program here in the UK called The Real Hustle, Alexis Conran. And he gave like the second day, he gave like the opening presentation on the main stage. And he showed a clip of him standing outside a car park wearing a high-vis jacket. And someone pulls up and he's like, oh, we're just moving some car around. If you give me your keys, I'll park it for you. And the guy just hands in his keys and walks off. And then he like speeds off in the car and then runs after the guy. And he's like, hey, you just gave me your keys. I don't even work at this car park. I just stood outside in a high-vis jacket. And he's like, my jacket, this high-vis jacket cost me $13. How much is your car worth? The guy's like, £10,000. $10,000. And he's like, so you've just, and I thought it was brilliant. And he showed another clip, years old, from Candid Camera, talking about herd mentality again. And all of this is available on YouTube. So if you run a campaign and you want to use stuff like this, you can find it on YouTube. Candid Camera, it was old. Candid Camera was like, You've Been Framed, or like hidden camera TV show. They show there's someone stood in a lift as the lift doors open, and then who's an actor, and then someone walks into the lift and he like faces the door, but the guy that's already in the lift is facing the wrong way, and then 2 more people get in and face the wrong way, so they're all facing the wall at the back, and this one guy's facing the door and he's like looking around slowly. He just kind of and within about 15-20 seconds he's facing the same way as them, like facing the back wall, because and this like little behaviours, that herd mentality is something really, really powerful. We should probably try and use those, encourage people to use those behaviours. Anyway, that's enough about HuFiCon. There's it was really, really good. Cologne's lovely as well. That was really good. Topics this week. What have we got on the topics? So I have a few here. I have 2 or 3. The first one was a post. I got this on a newsletter that I get. And I thought it was going to link through to an article, but it actually linked through to a LinkedIn post. I was like, oh, okay. And this is a post by Nicole Leffer. If you're using free, plus, or pro ChatGPT, please stop and check one vital setting in your account right now. Go to Settings, Data Controls, and make sure Improve the Model for Everyone is turned off. So this is apparently on by default across all personal tiers of ChatGPT accounts, both free and paid. And most of us don't realise that this toggle even exists. So the majority of the people using free, plus or pro ChatGPT accounts are automatically helping to teach the AI for everyone with every conversation. Now, I'm all for that, but this is even more important if you're using connectors. So if you're using Google Drive, Gmail connectors. So yeah, it says directly on their help page, it says we may use information access from connectors to train our models if you improve the middle model for everyone setting is on. So this is why, I mean, her argument, Nicole's argument, is this is one of the biggest reasons I recommend companies provide business, teams, or enterprise level ChatGPT accounts, and then do not allow them to use personal ones for anything related to work. Stop telling them to just expense their Plus accounts. Get a business account and give everyone seats. I get that there's financial reasons that you don't do that, but I just thought that was interesting. It's another one of those things, another one of those hidden settings that you might not be aware exists, but is really important to check.
Yeah, that's a good reminder. Makes you wonder. I don't know if there's a way of like blocking people logged into their personal accounts on a work device, but you kind of think maybe ChatGPT should change the URL for personal devices to personal accounts to be like personal.chatgpt or something, and surely then you could block that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because without that, I'm not sure how you'd stop people from doing it without trying to teach them.
Let's I'll jump onto the next one quickly. And this one was again something I saw on LinkedIn, shared by Perry Carpenter, AI specialist, podcast host. You know, everyone knows Perry. I don't need to explain who Perry is. If you don't know who Perry is, follow Perry. So Perry just posted this screenshot of this news report saying, yes, that's not good, but also not particularly surprising. And the headline is, Meta is earning a fortune on a deluge of fraudulent ads. It projected 10% of its 2024 revenue would come from ads for scams or banned goods. I'm sorry. How is that even? Like, someone fine them? Lots of money. They don't even pay tax, probably. Anyway, the social media giant internally estimates that its platform shows users 15 billion, with a B, scam ads a day. It's
that's really bad.
It issues reports on scammiest scammers. So this is an article in Reuters, which is insane. It kind of leaves me a little astounded. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On average, one December 2024 document notes the company shows its platform users an estimated 15 billion higher risk scam adverts, those that show clear signs of being fraudulent, every day. Meta earns about $7 billion in annualized revenue from this category of scam ads each year. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
That's why they don't do anything about it.
That's why they don't do anything about it. Yeah. And here's some examples of like scam ads. Elon Musk real package, investment management company. Hey, it's me. I have a gift for you. Text me. Done. As if Elon's going to do that. Like, come on now. The government is giving out $710 to all Americans. America help. It's not difficult to work out these things as scams. The problem is, as we know, because we've done this, you report them and they don't go away. We did this with the fake Dixon one, the fake shirt advert. It could be anyone and anything. Meta don't give a monkeys, which is awful. Awful, awful. They're probably up there in my like rogues gallery of like worst companies. They're responsible for so much badness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had one more this week, and this was something that was sent to me just today from a friend over in Canada, Liam Stockrobet from EduRisk. So if you're in Canada and you need some awareness stuff, look up edurisk.ca. Here is an Instagram that he shared with me, and I thought this was quite good. Bear with me just a second. Let me get it up here. Here we go. Right. So Liam shared this with me a short while ago. ChatGPT to commit DoorDash fraud. DoorDash is like Just Eat in the UK. It's a food delivery service. Okay, let's turn the volume on.
People are now using AI to commit DoorDash fraud. I didn't even know this was a thing, but check this out. So this person ordered a hamburger from DoorDash and then used ChatGPT's image generator to make it look like it was undercooked. Apparently, this guy got a full refund, and the scariest part is that it's only getting easier for people to use AI like this. People are now using AI.
I did see this one.
I mean, you could do it with Photoshop, but ChatGPT, I mean, these AI image generators just makes it easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think someone said in the comments they've been doing it for years, but yeah, the whole thing is, AI. You could just type in, make it look raw, and it's done.
Great comment here. And this is where the systems will have to get smarter to prevent stuff like this. This comment, DoorDash could fix this by implementing an in-app claims portal where the only pictures that can be uploaded have to be taken by an in-app camera and can't be uploaded from a gallery. 22,000 likes. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Someone says, I hate it here. Why even post it to give horrible people ideas? I've got an interesting comment on that. Last week we spoke about sextortion, didn't we? The Guernsey BBC News report. So I posted a short of that on TikTok. And TikTok removed the hashtag sextortion because they said it violated their corporate guidelines. Even though it's educational, like it wasn't a sextortion attempt. It was to raise awareness of that crime.
Yeah.
But TikTok removed the hashtag.
I guess it's their detection. It's not very good.
Just look at the transcript. Like with all the AI tools, you could have just looked at the transcript and worked out quite easily whether it was pro or anti,
Yeah, that's not great.
It's crap. It's really bad. Really bad. Because how are you meant to raise awareness of these things, or spark interest, or even share that knowledge if they're going to ban people talking about it? It's not the first time we've had content flagged on TikTok for ClickFix, the copy and paste into the run box. They banned the video for that before. And all we were doing was raising awareness about it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, it's not great.
Not great. Right. That's my topics done. Have you got anything for me?
Yeah, 2 TikTok videos I saw that were interesting. I'll share the first one, which I don't know if there's any voiceover, but yeah, for anyone just listening, it's a farm of sort of bot mobile phones being hooked up to like live stream on platforms like TikTok, but they're all recording a TV monitor with a video playing, so they're not actually like the real thing. They're just like there's like 5 phones looking at a single screen, streaming on a live platform, obviously getting views and people buying products and stuff. But I'll play the video. I just thought it was quite interesting. So obviously you think these are like real people.
That's such a great deal. I've been in the foot care business for a while.
Oh,
I've seen
wow.
a lot of products, but this one really stands out. Our company has been researching the
So these are probably just playing all 24/7 on TikTok and stuff and just earning revenue.
I see these videos. I scroll straight past them. I see them all the time. Like someone stood in a showroom or like with a product. Some people will. I have bought a couple of things from TikTok Shop, but not from something pushing like that. There was some a couple of weeks ago. I was nearly caught out. My wife caught me actually because there was someone getting a box out of a car and it was K-pop Demon Hunters toys. And I was like, oh my God, like my daughter would love them. And yes, all right, they're probably not safe and they're probably got a choking hazard because they're coming from TikTok Shop. But I didn't realise. I forwarded it to my wife and she went, is it not AI generated content? And then I looked at it again and there was a tiny little message at the bottom that said AI generated content. I completely missed that. And I do this podcast every week and we talk about this all the time. Like, why is there not? Why, if it's AI generated every 3 seconds, can you not can TikTok? The TikTok notification that it's AI generated content is really tiny. Why not just splash it up every 3 to 5 seconds? My son gets
nice banner along the top.
Yeah, my son keeps getting caught. He thought that some kid had been sucked. This kid knocking on the front door, going, "Mom, let me in, it's coming, let me in," with a big twister in the background, and then the kid gets sucked away into the twister. He was like, "Oh my God, Dad, watch this!" I'm like, he's like, "No," I'm like, "It's AI." Yeah, it's terrible. The platforms, they're all to blame for the downfall of society. It's all their fault.
The last one I had was a video talking about ClickFix in the wild. This channel here, Sherwoods_Tech. It's an Irish website that he shows. I think it has some colourful language in, so apologies for that. Just play it and see what it is.
Yeah.
Ads. I'm after finding a serious fucking virus here on this Irish website. I'm after ringing Joe there and letting him know, but this is going to obviously fucking affect loads of other Irish websites across the board at some stage. But I just happened to find this morning. So Grafton Diagnostics, they sell automotive diagnostic equipment, really good shit, right? And then it kind of loaded up, and then it kind of gets fucking wanked to this page, right? Verify you're a human, right?
So it's gone to a captcha.
When I click that, it says press the Control or Windows or key, which will open up this dialog here. And if you press Control V, it will essentially paste something, right? I'll just press Control V over here.
Don't press enter.
Right? It looks like nothing.
Oh, it's blank.
Clever. Usually click OK, but look, if I go back a bit, this is what it's trying to install. This is this MSIEXE is an installer command for Windows, and it's going to install some hidden file somewhere on the internet, and then essentially you're leaving your computer wide open to whoever wants to track what keys you're pressing on your keyboard, what passwords you have in your password managers, whatever else you have, what card details you have on your machine. So yeah, I'm sure this is going to hit a shit ton of fucking businesses now lately all across Ireland. So and actually, fair play, I told Joe about this morning, and he had that fixed within an hour. So fair fucks, that's good going. But yeah, so every other Irish website owner, be careful of that now. That's going to be do the rounds. Just thought.
Yeah.
I love his raw, unique, authentic self. If that's if Sherwoods Tech is his company TikTok, then I want to deal with him. Like, yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. I did know. So we saw that. If you didn't see it, I hope it was clear. When he'd pasted that in, it had like MSI was running the executable, and then right at the end in the run command was /QN, which essentially means quiet, no UI. So that's what it is. If it didn't have the /QN, then it would display a user interface. But with that /QN at the end, that means like run it quietly with no user interface, so that you wouldn't even know that was installing whatever it was installing. So, yeah. I mean, you caught one. These things aren't unusual. You caught one in the wild weeks, like 28 episodes ago or whenever, looking at Google ads, and it was Google's own one. And these things are out there. They're live. They're live because people fall for them. So maybe not that one specifically because of the language. You might not want to share that in your business, but it's another example of why we should be telling people about ClickFix, and they should never, ever, ever be pasting anything in Win+R. Ever. Never paste anything.
Terminal window.
No,
ever. Yeah, it's what's interesting. Like in the comments, to talk about how did people think it was infected and redirected, and people were pointing out it could be like they posted it on WordPress and the plugin's been compromised, or maybe the domain's been hijacked. I mean, we spoke a couple of episodes ago about that book domain that got changed to a dodgy
publisher's domain,
adult content.
So
it's like lots of different sort of hygiene with your website hosting or your domain renewals and stuff. There's lots of ways that it can happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A million different ways it could happen. Yeah. It's really important. Again, it comes down to the human behavior. Like, is it normal that I would be asked to perform this task? No. Have I been asked to perform this task before? Probably no. Do I trust who's telling me to perform this task? People won't understand the power that action can have. So that's why you need to communicate that to your workers, to your colleagues, to your people, to your family, all of that. Yeah. Awesome. Good catch. Good find. Right. Yeah. I had one more thing I want to talk about. It's a really quick one. Don't worry. So recruitment. Okay. And this isn't necessarily my recruitment. Although there was one job I did submit an application for, didn't hear anything back, but that's fine. I know a couple of people that have applied for jobs recently, and their experience as an applicant has been really, really bad. And I don't think there's clearly a problem out there at the moment with recruitment, and it might not be a new problem. If you're a recruiter in this space and you want to talk to me about it, that could be cool. Let's get you on for an interview episode. That could be really cool. Okay. But I'm just trying to find the post now. There was a post. Yeah. Okay. So there was a post from Hazel McPherson, and she's the founder of 4Fox Security. Let me just get this up on the screen for you because it'd be easier if you see it. So she posted this a week ago. Okay. And I reached out to Hazel to ask if I could share this. She said, yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's public out there anyway. Skill shortage, recruitment problem, whatever the issue is, treatment of candidates is appalling at the moment. And I've never seen it this bad in 30 years of work. Isolated incident? No. I've had automated emails telling me how sorry they were I had decided to withdraw my application. I hadn't. I've given up hours and hours for multiple stage interviews and presentations with the promise of feedback if not successful. I'm still waiting. I've been told I'm not suitable for roles I could do half asleep. I've been doing them for over 20 years. My favourite was when a person I had never met, was not part of my 3-stage interview process, said he was worried I couldn't cope. Months later, he invited me to join him on a panel to talk about recruitment and retention of women in cyber. WTF has happened to integrity in recruitment? Why has it become so shoddy? And she's sent this because it says here, thanks for taking the time to meet with us an interview for the role of Chief Information Security Officer. It was great to find out more about you and your background. We've very much enjoyed speaking with you. We're very lucky at the Lego Group to attract so many talented people like you who are keen to be part of our team. On this occasion, we've decided to move forward with those that were a closer match to us right now. So I don't think, I'm pretty sure that they didn't even have an opportunity to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like the other one, I know someone that recently applied for a job at a big pharmaceutical company, household, they have products in every household. And you'd know them a mile off. They went for an interview, they went for a second interview, they went for a third interview, all really, really well. And then nothing. Just ghosted. They've chased 4 different individuals at that business and they've heard nothing back. It happened to me as well. 2 or 3 years ago, I went for a job, every single interview, great, right. Didn't hear anything. And then by the time I actually heard something, they had no interview feedback for me. They just decided it wasn't me.
That's terrible.
It's really, really crap. And I hope if any, I get that candidates can be a problem sometimes, but as companies, you've got reputations to uphold. Okay. And we're a small group of individuals. We all talk. You get mentioned on podcasts. The companies I know that have done that, I won't be recommending anyone go to because it's a terrible experience and it doesn't really say much. So look, if you're a company and you're recruiting, really think about the PR of that, the speed of that, the contact with that. Because there's 2 companies there that I won't be recommending anyone go for a job at. And I know a lot of awareness people in this industry. So
no, it's not good. I think as well, AI's probably got a blame in some way with just how things get processed. Resumes or CVs, whatever, get processed through AI. Maybe it depends on certain countries, but
I hate recruiting. I've recruited you. I hate recruiting, looking for a job. You can't tell anything about someone. Well, I suppose you can. I was going to say, does my CV accurately reflect who I am? No, it probably doesn't. And a lot of it is about personality, but you don't get that until you speak to someone. And looking on paper quite often, talk to them. Talk to them about what their situation is now. Like right now, my situation probably isn't very easily explained by looking at my CV. Talk to me. Let's just have 5 minutes. Let's just have 10 minutes. And if we go through an interview process and you decide I am not right, just tell me. Just like at least drop me an email with a reason.
Yeah.
It's rubbish, really rubbish. So companies need to do better right now because we all talk.
Yeah.
That's
And
it.
probably don't use AI either, because there's probably AI phone call interviews and all sorts out there, I'm sure. Or like video calls with AI.
I mean, helping ChatGPT tweak your CV is probably not a terrible thing, but make sure it's not like full of M dashes because that's a dead giveaway. But yeah, on the interview, like we are going to see the return of face-to-face in-person interviews. And in fact, this pharmaceutical company, one of those was an in-person interview. They went all the way into the city to have at their own expense.
Yeah.
Afternoon off work. So it's not fair. It's just to be ghosted. It's not fair.
No, it's terrible.
It's not fair. Right. So if you're recruiting, just think about the repercussions. Just send them an email. Give them a little bit of feedback. Just think about the candidate experience, because one day it'll be you looking for a job. And I hope you have a really bad experience. Right. Okay. That's it. That's it for this week?
Yeah.
On that rant? Okay. Right. Okay. What I haven't mentioned, which I should have mentioned really early on, is this coming Thursday is the launch of the second season of our interviews. And this coming Thursday, we have an interview with Dan Thornton from Goldfish. I was on his podcast a couple of weeks ago. This time I'm asking the questions. So coming out this Thursday in this feed, everywhere you get your awareness angle, there will be a bonus episode. Me interviewing Dan Thornton from Goldfish, who do simple fishing. They keep it simple. Fishing, simple fishing, simple training. They're not a human risk management platform. They know what they are. Fishing and training. Job done. So it's good. It's honest.
Awesome.
It's raw. It's a bit like that last video you showed. There might be the odd swear word.
Cool.
Right. Have a great week. And I will
And everyone listening.
see you next time. Yes. And everyone listening or watching. I'll see you next time.
Cool. Catch you later.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye.